Welcome back to the final video in this series where we have a former BCG consultant walk through an official BCG case that BCG recommends you go through for your case interview process. If you haven't already, watch the first 3 videos, otherwise this video is not going to really make sense to you. So remember, the goal of this series is to teach you what a case interview looks like, how does a BCG consultant solve a BCG case, and for you to familiarize yourself with the different parts of the case. In future later videos, we're going to deep dive into each of these parts and analyze what goes well, what didn't go well, and work from there. But for now, I want to make sure that you have a good glimpse of what a case interview is. So we've already worked up this hard. We started with video 1, which is the opening, where our consultant here, Dan, walk through his thought process about how to understand the business and the problem that they're encountering. In the second video, which is a structure, he presented an approach for how he would solve the problem at hand. And then in the third video, the last video, he analyzed the problem and reached a conclusion for the client. And now the client has asked him for a recommendation. In this video, he's going to present a recommendation to wrap up the case and leave the interviewer with a good impression that he could one day be a great consultant.
Great. And could I just take, again, 30 seconds just to kind of summarize?
Absolutely.
Think before I summarize? Thank you. Great. Okay. So I would recommend that we acquire, sorry, I just wrote the 3 letters there. So it was RSS within the patient administrative space, and then PSS, physician support systems within the physician support system, within the physician support software space. This would add $340 million to the top line if we acquired both of these. And there's a couple of reasons that we would recommend to do that. The first is that hospitals, as we've discovered, prefer to purchase fully integrated software packages. And really there's only 2 options within the space at the moment, and none of them really have strong presence across all 3 across all 3 sub-verticals yet. And if we were the first mover to actually dominate all 3 spaces, then that would leave us a lot of opportunity, not just to become the kind of go-to brand within hospital software or medical software generally. It would also, as we want to in the objective, add significant incremental revenue to our top line. A kind of watch out that we need to be careful of as we do this is to make sure that we, of course, keep this incredibly confidential, because if word were to leak to the street that this was going on, we could tempt HCI or HCS into competitive bids, pushing the sale price up. So we need to kind of consider some way that we could potentially lock in some kind of exclusivity within the acquisition, so we don't get into a competitive head-to-head war with either HCI or HCS. And if this is something which you as a board would like to consider further, down the line, we'd be very, very happy to kind of support you in any transaction process, and also any kind of post-transaction merger or integration as well.
Great, thanks. The board will take that into consideration.
Great, thank you very much.
So this wraps up our series on what a BCG case looks like from end to end as solved by a former BCG consultant who's encountering a case for the first time. For more information about this case, visit the official BCG website, and there's also the link below. If you're still struggling and thinking about, wow, what did I just watch over these 4 videos, highly encourage you to check out myconsultingoffer.org for any materials explaining the case interview process in more detail. Or rewatch these videos and watch for the notes. This time around, notice now that you know everything that's going on, you'll be able to conceptualize it. In the future video series, as you get more advanced, we're going to have more videos where we're going to go deeper into each of the parts of the series, including the conclusion and the recommendation, and how Dan was able to structure it, how he thought about it on the fly, as well as what could have been improved on it had there been more time. So I'm super excited to have you join this process and wish you great luck in your case interview preparation process. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video, or if not, on our platform at myconsultingoffer.org. Talk to you soon.